On the edge of the city, you'll see us, and then we come with the dust, and we go with the wind. My father was from southwestern Virginia, and he went to high school and lower schools also with three members of the famous Carter family, Joe, June, and Jeanette. And they kept in touch for their entire lives. And as soon as I was born, I was exposed to the music of the Carter family. That's what got me going in this kind of music. To set on your table your life. The folk scene in Boston in the 60s was really vibrant and crazy. People like Tom Rush and Eric Anderson and Tom Paxson and all these real icons of folk music were performing. The Newport Folk Festival was in its prime then, saw some great players there, including Joni Mitchell. Arlo Guthrie, I was sitting on the ground when he performed Alice's Restaurant. You know, it was just an amazing time to be a folk music fan.
This song is called Alice's Restaurant. It's about Alice.
And I found this small radio station called WCUW over at the left end of the dial, and they had a couple of folk shows. So I volunteered to help them with their program guide. I was there for a couple of months, and then their folk person said that he was moving to California. And they looked at me and they said, "Oh, you're our new folk DJ." And I said, "I've never talked on the radio. I don't know what I'm going to do." And they said, We'll train you. I did the show there for almost 4 years, and then we moved out here. And I tried to get on the air here, and I tried, and just as we were thinking about moving back to Massachusetts, I got a call from Alan Chartock and David Galletley, who was then the station manager, and they said, "Do you have any tapes of your old shows?" And I said, "Yeah, I probably do." And they were these huge reel-to-reel tapes. I brought them to them. They said, "How would you like to do a show on Saturday night after Prairie Home Companion?" So I had my first show on September 18th, 1982. Listener input is very important. And if somebody is in the mood to hear a specific song that night, I try to accommodate that and then weave around that for the rest of my show. I also try to play things from people who are performing in the area to let people know that we have such a vibrant folk community here. People will say, "Well, you know, you introduced me to a certain performer, and then I went out and I got his or her music." We put this out so that the listeners can hear some of the finest folk music that we can put together. And I think that when the listeners call or send an email, say that was a really good show, that kind of feedback is what we crave. It's almost like when somebody is performing in front of a stage and people get applause. It's just like, okay, I did a good job. I did something that is making the world a better place by putting these songs together. Plenty must all